I think it's recording. Okay. Um, so we'll just go ahead and get started and then yeah. So first question is what can we expect from this episode?
Well, this episode is crazy. We have a double possession. We have Jay's parents showing up to the house for the first time. So we have Sam desperately trying to impress Jay's parents, but she got a problem because she's being possessed by Nancy, our basement ghost, at the same time. And simultaneously, Jay is being possessed by Pete, who's played by Richie Moriarty. So we just have like it's hijinks left and right. It's very funny and heartfelt.
I love that. I haven't like watched every single episode, but I have watched a number of episodes. I think the show is hilarious. You guys are so great. Um
Thank you.
so tell me tell me, you mentioned the double possession. What does that look like?
So literally, Jay is trying to fix the water heater, and whenever there's a water heater with ghosts, there's also literally water on the ground. There's electricity. It's a real dice roll, and a rookie move, if I may. So anyway, we have a bit of a mishap, and both Nancy and Pete are thrown into Sam and Jay. And it looks like you'd imagine trying to navigate having in-laws stay while possessed. It's chaotic, it's funny, it's surprising, and Sam is incredibly desperate to impress Jay's family, and I don't think she expects the reaction that she gets from Jay's mother.
Yeah, I was reading a little bit about the episode, and I wanted to ask, why do you think it's important um for her to impress Jay's mom? I know that's like going to be a big part of the episode.
Well, I think that Sam is very, very desperate to belong in family in general. She had a bit of a complicated upbringing herself, and we started to unpack that a little bit by meeting her dad this season and see a slightly strained relationship there. She's really keen to fit in. I think it's why it's worked so well that she's inherited a house full of ghosts because she kind of gets that family that she's been longing for. And so Jay has a much closer, more traditional family unit, and she is desperate to be a part of that. And that kind of overzealous enthusiasm can come on a little bit strong. So Champa, understandably, sort of is a very boundaried person, and Sam doesn't quite know what to do with that. But we get some pretty good breakthroughs this episode.
That's awesome. And so, what do you think the fans will enjoy the most out of this episode?
Well, I think it's got everything that people love about a ghost's storyline. It's got so much humor brought to you by Rose playing Nancy. It's so funny what she does with the character. And then there's a ton of heart and a lot of connection to family and a lot of
Brought to
accepting.
you by Utkarsh, who navigates that beautifully. It's very emotional, and uh, there's a lot of like very authentic kind of relationship strain that you can feel between parents and a child that is explored in a really interesting way for a comedy.
Yeah, and there's some really deep, beautiful friendship stuff going on with Sasapis and Thorfinn, which is happening kind of behind the scenes of our main storyline. But Roman and Devin and Sheila play a wonderful little triplet storyline between Flower, Thor, and Sasapis. It's really fun. You guys are gonna love it. If you love the holidays and you love ghosts. You're like we're giving you if you don't
You,
like yeah, if you're not a big fan of ghosts, don't know if you're gonna like it. But if you do like watching a gal talk to a bunch of ghosts that live into her house with a husband just following
this
along,
is the show for you.
there you go, baby.
So, what do you guys think was different with filming this episode versus maybe just another regular episode?
Well, as you'll see in the second half of the episode, in the second part, it's a technical feat. And big shout out to Richie Keene, our director, who navigated working under complicated circumstances. There's 10 main actors in this show that all have moving schedules and very full days that we have to film. And he was able to navigate some really complicated VFX and some elements that I don't want to spoil, but that really enhance the second half of the episode. So the days on set were jam-packed. They were complicated. Utkarsh did a wonderful job having to step up to this very technically demanding role. And yeah, it's a little different to your standard episode on that front.
Okay, and then very last question. So, can you guys tell me anything about when the show will return in 2025? Can you guys tease anything about that?
Sure. I mean, we have some amazing stuff this season. I think this is our best season yet. We've really hit our stride. Writers, actors, crew, we're just having such a good time making this show. And in 2025, you finally get to meet Isaac's arch nemesis, Alexander Hamilton, which is very cool. We have Nat Faxon coming to play him, and he's so funny, such a great actor. And it's, I think, for someone who's been multiple times nominated for awards now, I think it's Brandon Scott Jones' funniest, best work on the show, up to date. We get to delve into Alberta's backstory. We get to see some of her flashbacks and get into her love story a little bit, which is beautiful. And you get to hear anytime you get to hear Danielle sing, you're winning.
Mhm.
Um, so and for no other, I'm not going to tell you why, but we see Sasapis in a 70s handlebar mustache as well. And Roman with a stash. I mean,
The
guys,
world deserves it.
yeah, he
It's what the
gonna
world needs right now, I would say.
he's a beautiful, beautiful man with a bushy mustache, and it is glorious.
Perfect. Well, thank you guys so much for interviewing with me. I was so excited. Like I said, I've seen some episodes here and there. My grandparents and they love the show. They always talk about it. So, it's really awesome to meet you guys and to be able to do this with y'all. So, thank you again.
Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you.
Send love to your grandparents from us, please.
I
Yeah.
will. I will. Thank you guys so much.
Take care. Happy